live. I'm looking at.
So I believe we're live.
We are. Oh yeah, we are. All right,
Yep. Yep.
all right, all right. So here we are, everyone.
All right. All right, y'all. What's going down? What's going down? We tried to do this like about a week or so ago, but the technology was failing your homie right here. Me and my man was supposed to be getting in deep on that Spider-Man Brand New Day. My man Barry has one up on his channel, Mission Movie Reviews. Really good review. I love how you broke that down.
Thanks, bro.
Too, for sure. Hit a couple more points that I had missed. My brain all over the place. But I got it on my channel too. So, hit up both channels the week, right? There's no specific movie that I wanted to review. I'm gonna talk about some movies for sure, maybe in a little bit more detail than others. But for the most part, what I wanted to talk about was streaming versus the theater. Not necessarily. And the quality of those films that are made for streaming in this day and age versus movies that are made to be as great as they possibly can be from the studio for streaming versus the theater. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I find myself in a position just the other day where I'm on Netflix and I had no idea, because Netflix is terrible with their marketing.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that Kevin Hart had a movie coming out called 72 Hours.
I didn't either.
I had no idea.
Me. I was like, oh, I guess it is.
Name, like, Kevin Hart's damn near like Mickey Mouse. He's known world round, right? So I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know this man had a movie coming out. And again, I keep my ear to the ground when it comes to movie news. I'm watching shit like all week, every day. You feel what I'm saying? And again, I had no idea about this movie. Then I saw another movie starring John Cena called Little Brother. And I'm going to see what movie should I click on? And I'm Little Brother, right? And I never thought I'd be in that position where I'm like, should it be a John Cena comedy? Yeah, it actually kind of is, because the last handful of things that Kevin Hart has come out with specifically, I'm like, all right, they're a little bit up in the air for sure. But the things that John Cena's come out with, the way that he is in those movies and the things that are surrounding, like whatever's going on in those movies, I'm not saying they're all great, but I'm just saying they feel different. Okay, so I'm not comparing literally the comedic genius of a John Cena versus a Kevin Hart. I'm not doing that. And I'm not necessarily going in hard on the subjectivity of, did I like these movies over here versus those movies over there. But what I am going in on is how these movies are put together. So I'm not going to spoil everything about 72 Hours. Not that there's that much to spoil. But Barry, did you watch 72 Hours?
No, you know what? I didn't, but I did watch the John Cena one.
What'd you think of the John Cena one?
The John Cena one was, to me, I kind of enjoyed it, but it was like almost a movie where it wasn't sure if it wanted to be safe or edgy, because it's just the tone of it. The cinematography was light. It was almost like a TV program. And next thing you know, you got some hardcore stuff just rolling in one night, bending people over. I'm like, what? On the car. I'm like, what's happening? It was funny. It was good, entertaining, but I liked it. And on top of that, too, I think that John Cena needs to, he's showing that he got some chops, man. I mean, he can do some stuff. I know everyone calls him like, meathead and whatnot. I know my wife does. But I'm looking at him like, I said, you got some talent, man. I mean, you see him already with, DC and everything. He has it. So it was a nice change to show him like, hey, you know what? Let me just, being like almost an underdog in a way. You never really see him that way. In a way, he's kind of always the hero a little bit here and there, maybe a little goofy, with DC. But this one, he was like an underdog, and he had to kind of understand himself and appreciate himself more than that he thought everybody was appreciating him. And it was like a lesson learned type thing. But the brother, man, what's his name again? Jay, I forget the actor's name. That
guy, I recognize that. I'll look him up, but I recognize that dude, but I couldn't for the life of me remember like what was his name. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. I've seen him.
He did great in
every now and then I see him. Yeah. How's your your vocals? I know coming in and out. Jay. So I don't know if it's on my
I'm,
side
I'm hearing
or
you. I'm hearing you like very clear, very clean.
very clean. Okay,
All
you
my
coming in
yeah,
clean,
all
but
my
see, yours is dropping every now and again. I don't know if it's my side
yeah, I'm
or
not sure.
okay.
All my levels are saying that everything's pretty good. Oh, so this
All
is
right.
Eric Andre. Is that the Marcus's name? He
Yeah,
plays
Eric
John Cena's
Andre.
brother.
Yeah. I like him,
Uh,
man. I like him.
yeah. So yeah. So basically, I'm gonna give y'all just a very quick like rundown of both because again, I want to talk about like John Cena and what I think of him as an actor and why, again, not just based on the movie and the subjectivity of what's what or the
Yeah,
comedic levels of either one, but it's
yeah.
it's a whole bunch of things. So I'm gonna try to like boil down my thoughts so y'all understand where I'm coming from, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong, think I'm right, you agree, or whatever your thoughts are. It's all good. We all friends here, right? So the Kevin Hart movie, 72 Hours, you basically got a dude in his 40s or later 40s, whatever. He's cut his teeth on all these different projects and he's where he's at now. Good position to be in, right? He's got this major deal he's trying to get done with this vodka or tequila or whatever like that. He thinks he's actually invited to this like boys trip, if you will, to Miami, but it's like a mistaken situation through text messages or whatever like that. He ends up going on the trip. He's trying to get a bunch of footage together so he can make this pitch for his alcohol.
Right.
She gets caught up with some drug cartels or some bullshit like this. They hang out with some bridesmaids, but they're not really bridesmaids. They try to hustle them and leave them stranded. Stupid shit that we've seen time and time again in all these dumb films, right?
Uh-huh.
And then in the end, you know, two of the dudes in the movie are kind of like, you know, going through some ish and maybe they don't really know if they really want to be friends because one guy's grown up, he's gonna get married, the other guy's not, he's immature. Thing, right? In the John Cena movie, John Cena is basically, think of like when you see those you know, real estate shows where
Yeah.
they're trying to sell like Manhattan or whatever like that. John Cena
Right.
is like that guy. He's got the dude, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the guy who was like on
Oh, he's
Law
from
and
Law and
SVU.
Order. I mean, his guy's playing his
Yeah,
brother.
that main
Yeah.
boom, yeah. That main guy is his brother who's like obviously outshines him on every aspect, right? But he's like top real estate dude. John Cena's a top real estate dude. He's trying to get on this show. You know, he's married, he's got kids, all this sort of stuff, but he's in the shadow of his big brother. So you got all that going on. At one point in time, when he was young, he signed up for this little brother program because it would look good on his college application. There he grows up and he thinks that John Cena is like really his dog. Like he's like, oh, brothers for life, for real. But it was actually his assistant that was emailing him, making him think that they were hella tight just because she wanted someone to talk to. Whatever. It's
Right.
comedy shit, right? But the point is throughout the movie, as John Cena is trying to just like big up in him every way, every step of the way. But then now he's kind of trying to or not trying to, but he ends up outshining him in one way or another. And John
Yeah.
Cena's feeling a type of way. It's all going to come to a head. He's going to go crazy, go nuts, and shit just goes awry. And you're like, oh man, what the hell? This is crazy. And then of course,
True.
like to me, your classic 80s or 90s, you know, come to the realization, damn, I can't believe I was so selfish. I can't believe I was so effed up and I was mean and disrespectful. And what was I thinking?
Old school
This, that, and the other thing. Old school lessons to learn, right? And then you know, it all comes to its resolve. And for me, I was like, yeah, some bonkers similitude or whatever. Imagine if Michael Richardson, if I'm not mistaken, is the actor's name, didn't go off on that racist rant. Imagine if he never went off on that racist rant. You could easily see like one of the members from Seinfeld or someone else having the same situation jump off, and then a neighbor from back in the day or the little brother or the coworker or whatever that wants to tag along is being all crazy because this guy, Marcus, the brother, he's basically like Kramer, right? He's philosophical, he's thoughtful at times, but he's also crazy and causing a whole bunch of ruckus, right? But he always comes out on top. So it feels like that. But the way John Cena is playing his character throughout is the straight man. All of your greatest comedies always will either A, have the entire cast as the straight man, they are in reality, and you have one person that's bonkers crazy. Or if it's like an odd couple type situation, you'll
Yeah.
have the one person who's the straight man and the other person who's bonkers fucking crazy, right?
Right. Right.
My issue is in a lot of like Netflix movies or Kevin Hart films, everybody's fucking crazy. If you look
Yeah.
at, I was telling a friend of mine this the other day. I was like, look at, good example. Look at Coming to America, the original Coming to America, right?
Yeah.
And then look at Coming to America 2. In the original Coming to America movie, there's obviously a lot of wild shit. The parent, this, that, and the other thing. They come to America. People are like, hey, shut the fuck up. You a king? You a prince? I don't give a fuck about that. We got shit going on here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a character, but everyone's also grounded in a reality, right? Akeem, Asimi, they are still grounded somewhat into a reality, but funny things happen to them. They've funny, and the way it happens is like makes perfect sense. Those guys lost all their money in trading places. Here they are here, broke on the street. It's all good. In Coming to America 2, that shit was wild as fuck and made no goddamn sense. And everyone was just playing a bit. Everyone was just playing a role for the laugh. They didn't actually try to make a tangible, believable, genuine storyline. You had a storyline there, but think about that storyline for a second. You didn't really feel like it was grounded in reality. They just went for the joke, but there was no emotion that you could build into it. And so for me, I feel like whether it be a drama, an action movie, a thriller. Netflix just had that recent movie. What was it? With Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton, if I'm not mistaken. Where they're like in Australia or something. That shit was like crazy as fuck. Like the opening of that movie. If you remember what the name of that movie was, I can't remember the name of it. But this movie opens up. They're on like a mountain face in like the worst storm. They're just like there for this next thing to happen. And if you look at a good movie, a movie that I would consider good, a movie that is thoughtful in its organization and its pacing and its story and how the actors are acting in these particular roles, and from one thing to lead to another, this emotion to cause this reaction and so on and so forth, it just flows and it feels realistic. But a lot of these movies that are made for content to fill up the streaming platform feel like it's just a random idea, dare I say, thrown into AI or ChatGPT or whatever. You punch it up a little bit, and then you just get these big name actors to fulfill the role. And then now we have something on our back. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like after watching both 72 Hours and Little Brother, say what you will about either movie, I feel like everyone working on Little Brother made that movie feel like a real film. Like if this movie was going to be in theaters, again, whether you like it or not, it felt real. Like
it did.
The movie felt like they were trying to make it look good. They were trying to add some emotional weight. The things that happen towards the end of the movie, when he comes to that realization of I'm acting like a dick, all that feels real. But Kevin Hart, this man is stumbling onto in a drug kingpin on a yacht. There's random people partying.
Right.
All of a sudden, he's boyfriend and girlfriend with Tiana Taylor, and he's like, "Oh, babe, I'm just gonna try to make this deal. I'm gonna come back." All of a sudden, he's doing cocaine. And then at one point in time, he's got to, do this deal again with these drug cartel people for whatever random reason. And he's like, oh, I need to do cocaine again, or else this character of mine can't come out and I can't make the deal go through. But then at some point in time, after he's done the cocaine, he says, oh, the cocaine wore off. And I'm like, how often do you do cocaine?
It doesn't work that way, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And then and then we know Kevin Hart and Cat Williams were beefing for like a long ass time. So you have the recent roast to Kevin Hart. Cat Williams shows up and you're like, oh, cool. I'm glad those two brothers were able to patch it up. Knowing how long it takes for a movie to be made, a script to be presented, made, punched up, go from the story to the script to the screenplay and all of that sort of shit. I'm thinking, damn, That roast was just a minute ago, and you already got this movie out and ready. That just The Little Brother was in production for like 10 years. I'm not saying that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when you look at one versus the other, and when you look at movies made specifically for streaming versus for the theater, you can clearly tell there is a lack of care and effort. Back in the day, Barry, before I let you hit me up with your thoughts.
Yeah.
Remember when you would go to Blockbuster or to any store, really, to the gas station, and you see a random movie with Tom Selleck on a horse, he's got his cowboy hat, sunset in the background, and you're like, when this motherfucker come out with this? This is straight to DVD. You never gave the straight to DVD movies respect. But even if a movie was trash and it came out in theaters, it still had a different level of respect.
It did,
right?
It did, yeah.
So my gripe is not necessarily with the subjectivity or the objectivity even of these movies necessarily. It's more so with the streaming services that just want to fill up their platform with content, and they know people are not really paying attention to these movies. They know they just on their phones looking down half the time, and randomly they'll look up and see something goofy or funny, not understanding how it even got here or why we're here. And you get all this movie is great because
no, it's right. Hold on. Yeah.
So
okay. I'm sorry. I was looking at the feeds. My bad. Because I was listening to you and then looked at the feeds.
Made for streaming today in like 2026 versus maybe something back in the day that was like straight to DVD or whatever, or versus movies that are made for the theater.
Yeah. I think the first thing is before we even go on, I want everyone to know that, hey, listen, we're having the streamers going now, obvious, right? So right now the stream is going on Greene Screen, which is Justin's personal page, and then our duo page, which is Mission Movie Reviews, is going on there as well as Facebook. Just let you guys know that we're trying to spread this around. So it's all over the place. So if you're going back and forth, right, three places. Right, so
broadcasting.
We're trying to rock this
taking
out.
over the wave.
So pertaining to what Justin was talking about, cinema versus streaming, and how streaming, movies just have that look as opposed to a film. No matter how bad or good it is, it still has that weight to it, has that care to it, to a different extent as opposed to streaming. Yeah, and you know what? Before me get into deep with that, to go with what you're saying, I feel personally, it's the responsibility of the star too. I think that a lot of times when you can always tell, like when a particular celebrity is in a movie, a lot of times that movie has a certain weight, to use your words, a certain feel to it. The storyline is told in a certain way that okay, I think this is going to be okay. And when you look at Kevin Hart's film, Kevin Hart, I give a man his due. He's making his millions, making his thing. But let me tell you, man, when it's about comedy and stuff like that, a lot of times it's kind of like it's whatever. He doesn't have that cinematic juice. Because trust me, if he did, he'll try to do what, say, Jim Carrey tried to do. Jim Carrey wanted cinema. He wanted that respect as being a real actor. He went for it, like Spotless Mind and everything else, right? So, I mean, he tried for it. And you don't see Kevin Hart doing it. Not saying he has to copy. I'm not saying that. But then you look at Robin Williams, you look at Eddie Murphy. These guys really wanted that cinematic feel. They really wanted to say, I'm a real actor. I can actually punch this up to a point where people are going to say, damn, that's you? You doing that? Kevin don't care about that. Yes, he has some here and there, but mostly no. When it came down to John Cena's film, that film, although the look of it to me was very similar because it has that streaming, that television type of feel, you know what I mean? But as you mentioned, I agree. The story, the plot, the feel, the care that the actors put into their characters, you felt it. You know what I mean? They really cared about it. And one funny thing about that film pertaining to what you were saying, Justin, and I wanted to cut it because it was like so true and so funny, was that, like you said, either like the group of people are one way and then the stars another way. It's always like an opposite, right? The funny thing about that movie with John Cena was that everyone got the joke. and he was the only one that didn't. The kids, the wife, like everything went against him. He's like, what the fuck? These guys are banging in my room, and you just like, it's okay? Like, what the hell? You know, it's like everything was just a mess, you know, even the people in the crowd. So I think that was a big joke of it, that, you know, he was the one just not getting it. So, and I like that. I like that lean, you know, I like that lean. But right, I think that too, like you said too, even when years ago, when you seen a movie, it doesn't mean how bad it was in a $2 bin, when you played it and it was one of your, you know, one of these films that you just say, I'm just going to watch, it still had that cinematic feel. It still had that weight. It has some care on it. You know, you can see that there was time put in this. And now, because of streaming, I think that right now we're still in the beginning of streaming, Justin. I feel like, I hope for the better that people will realize that we got to put more care into this. You know, it's kind of like, I think a lot of times it's up to us to say no to it. So they see those things drop. And then those films that actually do have care to it and time it, that you see the ratings go up. That's the only thing they're going to listen to are numbers and attention spans. And I think that as long as people keep hitting those little cheap ones, they're going to say, let's keep making those cheap. You know, I think, you know, it's a lot to it. Yes, I know. But you know what? Yeah, nothing's like cinema though.
Yeah. First, I want to shout out my homie, and Charlize Theron. Big ups, my guy.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So one of my clients back when I was in the Bay Area, one of my clients worked at Netflix, and she would tell me that the way Netflix, for instance, does their tracking to say if a movie was worth it for them to make, if it was profitable for them to make. This is what she told me like a few years back, is if someone that does not have a Netflix subscription, they're not a subscriber to Netflix, brand new member, gets on, goes to that movie or that show or whatever, that's how they mark and say, oh, this is good. Those are the numbers that they track to say this movie is
right
doing what we need it to do. So if you and I already have Netflix, which Netflix got everybody, right? They're the giant right now.
Right. Yeah.
They're the shark in the water. They got everybody. So if we have Netflix and we go to watch that movie, yeah, maybe it shows up on their streaming numbers and they'd be like, oh, #1 movie because it was streamed 18 bazillion times or whatever the fuck. But that doesn't necessarily mean if nobody brand new signed up, however much it costs to make that movie. Like when you look at Joe and Anthony Russo making Electric State, that movie was a failure.
Right.
They spent like literally like a $250 million. Like I think it was like 300 million, if not like 500 million, some high ass number, not 500 million, that's ridiculous. But like some crazy high number, like 200 million or some shit like that. Goddamn lie. It was like some high ass number, and nobody went to see that shit. It's terrible. I didn't mind The Gray Man with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, but not a lot of people are like, oh fuck yeah, I want to go back and watch The Gray Man. So Netflix is spending like over like $500 million on like The Gray Man and Electric State, like movies like this, and Here Today Gone Tomorrow. They fall into the ether.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Kevin Hart, you know what I'm saying, or movies like that, it's like you say, there's not really that care and attention. Now, earlier, I want to address something because you had mentioned how he doesn't really have that cinematic aspect. He did that movie with Bryan Cranston. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, that was.
But it was like it was based on a true story.
Between. You know, that's wonderful. Yeah,
it's a good movie. That was a good movie. But guess where that movie premiered? In a theater. Right. But then he did Bryan Cranston's in there, and he's not going to put himself in some shit. You see? I haven't seen him in anything bad.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Look at like, but if you look at so he did that movie with Bryan Cranston, and then he tried to do that movie Lift, which came out like maybe like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
that movie was like he was like some type of like high level.
Yeah, some agent. Yeah.
Thief or some shit. Like I see you trying to be suave and sexy. If you see Kevin Hart in interviews, he has a level of like gravitas to himself and swag to himself. But when he's in the movies, this is just me. When he's trying to be serious in a movie, it comes off comical and goofy. But when you see him in an interview, you're like, I can't take this guy serious. I really want verbal lashing from this man. Like he seems like he's about his business. The other thing too is like when you look at like Adam Sandler or Will Ferrell or Seth,
Yeah.
movies are greater for that because of the chemistry.
Yeah.
In any of his movies, Spank was in this movie, taller, dark dude, hella raunchy, hilarious man. And that's the first one of the Plastic Cup Boys that I've seen in any of his freaking films. And I'm like, that's interesting. So, point is, going back now to the actor and the weight that they hold that movie to be great for them. If you look at like you're talking about Eddie Murphy, look at Chris Rock, Jim Carrey, like you say, the things that they bring to their movies, whether it be just a straight comedy, whether it be a dramedy, romantic comedy, whatever it may be, you can feel that difference, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With John Cena, fly buzzing around right now, distracting me. But with John Cena, the one thing I'll give John Cena more love on any day of the week, any time of day, over The Rock, because Kevin Hart and The Rock movies, they bankroll. They're pretty fucking big, right? And they're pretty good too. Right? But the one thing I'll give John Cena over is the story and the character fully.
Yeah.
We know The Rock is a diva. He can only get hit a couple of times before he has to hit back and all these things. He's not not willing to put in the work and be that guy. You feel me? With John Cena, if you've seen Little Brother and you've seen other movies that he's been in, and Peacemaker, he don't give a fuck. John Cena will go to that distance, and I love him for that, because in storytelling, if one thing leads to another, you have to be able to go there. You can't just try to save face. You feel me? And Kevin Hart and The Rock, people like this, they're going to try to save face. So whether they're in a movie in the theater or they're in a movie on streaming, it's never going to feel completely genuine because they're worried about their image more than they are about the story.
And see, and I think just to go what you're saying, and see with say for Kevin Hart's example, like you say, he has to be willing to go that length. He has to be willing to give himself up and say, you know what, this is the character. The character needs this, and I'm going to make sure that I'll give the audience what the character needs. And as you was mentioning, all those films with Kevin Hart, for example, listen, guys, it's not a Kevin Hart hate show. We just want to lay some things out. You know what I mean? He's a great actor, but I mean, not a great actor. He's a great performer. It's just that when you look at there's a common denominator. That common denominator with Kevin Hart, with good films that he's in, he's not the sole star. It's always somebody else. That somebody else is making decisions to make that movie worth something. They have, they have to pull to say, whoa, let's do this. I think this would work. Or when the script comes in, they're saying, I think this is pretty good. I'm going to call Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's not calling The Rock. Rock is calling Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? So, and I'm quite sure they can go both ways. But then you said like the movie that you just mentioned too, Justin, with Cranston. Cranston's the one that looked at that script and said, okay, I'll be in this if it's going to work this way. Kevin, you just read what's on the script. This is going to be a good movie. And that's why it was good. It was always that. But then when it came to those movies where it's just him by himself and he can say whatever he wants and do whatever he wants, what happens? We're both here like, yeah, it wasn't working. Yeah, it wasn't. And then when you look at people like yours, like we're talking about like Jim Carrey and Robert Williams, Eddie Murphy, those guys, and you see what they put out. It's them. They're proving to the world that, listen, we know how to pick scripts. We know what my brand needs to look good, to make sure that we're on the level that we should be in, where I want to be in. And I'm not taking no for an answer. And that's what they do. I think that, Kevin's not the only one. There's other guys. But like you're saying too before, Justin, about how they're looking at these numbers. Sometimes these numbers can get inflated, or sometimes these numbers are looking a little brighter than they really should be. And that's just, of course, for a lot of reasons. There's money is the main reason, but that money splits so many ways. And however it has to go, they're going to have to make an excuse to say, hey, listen, we made enough money. And on top of that, most of these places, just like the record business, they have to put out a certain amount of films within every quarter. So a lot of times they're looking at the ratio. If they can get out of 10 movies, if they can get 1 or 2 hits, they're good. That's how they look at it. We got to keep it going because you got you got the stockholders and everything else. And I'm a stockholder too, so I get it. But on top of that, that what kind of kills it. See, that started back in the days when George Lucas always said that he was like they always said that Star Wars killed the movie market because they were like the first blockbuster, and then you had merchandise, and that went exploding. Everyone got the ideas for that, and then those brands, those companies went public. Now you're getting public. Oh shoot, I got to pay stockholders. Well, how are we gonna get this money? Well, we're gonna get some numbers. We got to put out a certain amount of movies every quarter, or just like anything else, right? We have quarterly reports. And then it went on and on and on. Now we got the streaming deal going on. That's a whole nother beast that they have to add to their books. And now with that, you and I suffer because we're like, oh, a new Marvel film. Oh, shoot, a new one. And then we're looking at it and we all sitting there like, oh, depressed. Like, what the fuck is this? The hell, man? And then we're online right now talking about how much we hate these mothers. So it's like they're going to have to kind of get it straight because we can see the trend. We can see what's happening. And I think we get into a point now. And I think Marvel, not saying Marvel is the only one, but you can see them saying, okay, you know what, this whole streaming thing, yes, we know it is what it is now, but we have to learn how to really put out some good product everywhere, not just in the cinema, which is where you should put your big money. But if we do put something on streaming, we got to at least put some care into it. There's too many examples like that, even now years ago, so I mean, all that stuff, man. So that's they have to get this shit together.
Now I'll say this too, that when you look at movies on streaming that are either made for streaming or they just go to streaming or whatever like that, a movie released in the theater will always do better on streaming. And if you say Netflix like spends $200 million, $300 million on a movie, if it was good, and they put it in theaters, which that's why Netflix was trying to get in with Warner Brothers. But then, the whole Warner Brother Paramount thing, if y'all are following that, it's freaking crazy.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for, who was it? Was it Adam McKay that did The Big Short? Did Adam McKay do The Big Short? That movie?
I don't know. I gotta look that up. Adam McKay.
Whoever did The Big Short, and I feel like there was another random movie, but those movies that just break down, or there's a GameStop one. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, Adam McKay.
Whoever did those types of movies, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait for them to do this whole Warner Brothers Paramount Netflix situation.
And if it collapses,
if y'all are not following all of what's going on, it's freaking bonkers. And there's like ludicrous amounts of money on the line. And if it doesn't go Paramount's way, I don't know how they recover. But anyway,
losing $7 billion, but that's another story.
But I lost my train of thought. What I think I was trying to say is that you look at movies that are released in theaters.
Yeah.
They ultimately do better on streaming because everyone knows about them because it came out of a theater. So it's more respect in general. So you're going to give it more opportunity, right? You hear about a movie you weren't able to get to. I got 3 kids, wife, busy, all that sort of stuff. Might not be able to get to the theater, but as soon as we find out some shit's on streaming, we're like, fuck, let's go get it. And we might head to Amazon or wherever we got to go to pay for it if that's the deal. You dig what I'm saying? Especially depending on how bad we want to see that movie. When a studio or a streaming service, I should say, makes a movie for their streaming service, if that movie costs like 300 million or whatever it may have been, Netflix, I'm talking to y'all out there, right? And then you just release it on your streaming service, you need $200 to $300 million worth of people who have never had a Netflix subscription or have had one and canceled to re-up.
Yeah.
Netflix is making profit though, so what the fuck do I know? But I'm just simply
right.
saying if you were to release that shit in theaters a couple of weeks, you probably go, if a movie is good, a couple of weeks, you probably go and make that money. You feel what I'm saying? And then it lives on your streaming service, you making more money. So if we're talking about the future of your company, that makes more sense. So for Netflix to want to get in with Warner, make more paper, have their stuff that's just made for streaming, smart idea. I like that. Good to go. But again, you have to look at Spider-Man Brand New Day. This movie made $1 billion fucking in 7 days, y'all.
7 days, bro.
In 7 days. But here's the deal. while Spider-Man is popular, Batman is popular too. Batman and Superman, arguably the most known superheroes on this fucking planet.
Yes.
And when Batman v Superman came out, it did not make nowhere.
No.
6 or 7 days. The script and the acting and everything has to be thoughtful. It has to be genuine. And it has to be, dare I say, phenomenal, right? Y'all follow my channel. I use that word all the goddamn time.
Right. Yeah.
But it's got to be phenomenal, right? So my thought, I had to, you know what? I'm glad my homie Juan is on this live right now. I had this conversation with him and my boy a few years back about Marvel. This is after Endgame and where Marvel was going, which I felt was more and more money if they took their fucking time and just made shit better, versus Bob Chapek wanted them to just dump as much as they could on streaming to fulfill the quota for Disney Plus, right? So it's just those things that kind of go to show you're tanking your profits, you're tanking your franchises. People aren't going to believe in them as much. That's where DC got in trouble, right? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Point
they're
is,
smelling themselves, man. That's what they were.
Yeah. So it's like just make those movies that much better. I was gonna mention something else, but I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Damn. No. Real quick. Right. So again, not hating on Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart. But the thing is, it's kind of like when you see someone going down a bad road. Like look at Robert Downey Jr. before Iron Man. He was going down a pretty dusty road.
Yeah.
It didn't look, and Jon Favreau had to fight for Robert Downey Jr. to be able to play Iron Man, and the rest is history. He's he's good. His family is good. He's healthy. He was going down a bad road. Y'all know that, okay? And look at him now. He's Iron Man, right? Kevin Hart, I'm not saying he's going down a bad road. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he did.
Movie-wise, I think.
But the point is, for me, Kevin role, the very small role that he had in 40-Year-Old Virgin, kills me every time I see it.
Right.
The first ride along with Ice Cube and Think Like a Man. Small role, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Ride Along, and Think Like a Man. To me, those movies are phenomenal. Everything else, up in the air. Jumanji, you cannot count that. You got Jack Black, you got The Rock, Jumanji, proven franchise. There's so much going on in that movie. That's not him. But point being, love Kevin Hart, all good. What I wanted to mention right now was, now I want to say, when you watch a movie on streaming only versus going to see it in the theater, does that change how we actually feel about a film? And I'm gonna tell you why. So Jason Statham, who doesn't love Jason Statham, right? Jason Statham is great. Okay, love Jason Statham. He's been in great movies. He's been a cool character in dope movies, some good, some bad, but they've been that now live on streaming. A few months back, I watched Beekeeper, and I watched, what was the other one? It was Beekeeper and some other random movie that he had come out with that was, I can't remember the name of it, but Beekeeper was not the most well-received movie. But when I watched it, as I was on my iPad, I watch movies on my iPad. But did I feel like that because I was watching it on my iPad while I'm in the middle of my sets? If I went to a theater, would I feel like, oh, fuck yeah, that shit was hella good? I'm not 100% sure. But that definitely changes, I feel, a little bit of the way that I'm thinking about something. Like, do you ever feel like that?
No, it does. It does. I think that, I mean, it's hard to sometimes because, us being artists and we're looking at things in so many ways that, when you look at streaming, you're thinking in your head, if this was in the movie theater, I could probably feel a little different. And the movie theater always going to feel a little different is because of a couple of things. Number one, the screen is very, very big. And I forget exactly the science behind this, so forgive me, everybody, if I'm not saying it correctly, but you know where I'm going with this, is that when a size of a picture is a certain size, your brain can't look at it as realistic anymore. It goes into somewhere else. It's the same concept if you go to a certain height, that when you look down, you don't become scared anymore because it's too high. Your brain can't register the distance, right? So it's the same. It's similar to the same thing.
If I'm standing on top of the Empire State Building, I'm nervous I'm about to fall.
If I look down, I'm scared, but they say that, so I'm not going to test it. But when we look at the screen and whatnot, we're looking at this big ass heads and these arms, and everything is big. It's like, and it's dark, and you're solely concentrated on that screen. So your attention is so focused right on that screen that now you're taking in everything it's giving you, right? So of course you're gonna get a different experience. And you're saying that but it's obvious that if you have on the iPad, you got the world going all around you and it's small, so it's not big enough to really kind of bring your your feel, your depth of feel when it comes to a movie. So of course you're gonna look at it like, okay, I think it's all right, but it's nothing like going to a cinema. But on top of that, Justin, to get back what you were saying too about just like what we both were saying too about like just the look of it, the feel of it, that's the rhythm of it. It is different if it's a streaming set. Even if you put it on the screen, it's not going to make much of a difference. A little bit difference, but not all that much. I mean, look at Mandalorian. That was a huge example this year about how you took a television show to the theater. It looked the same way it did in Disney Plus. Like they didn't like up it
and
much.
That was a
like,
choice.
You know what I mean? I mean, I enjoyed it, whatever, but it bombed because people like it didn't have that depth, that cinematic depth that you were looking for. There was a little bit, yes, but you still felt like, man, I can look at the Disney Plus. They must have did a really good job than I thought they did because it looks the same. So you figure like, yeah, it's not going to bring you in. But yes, I think the streaming, when it comes to streaming versus cinema, there's nothing like it. If it's going to be cinema, like you were saying, Justin, and it goes to streaming, it's going to make money because why? Everyone knows about it more, yada, yada. But if it was straight to streaming, the people who are making those films are not going to put the time into it. I'm telling you, because number one, they're not going to get the budget for it. Number two, they're not going to get the time they need to make anything worth anything, unless either they have a star they want on there that's not going to settle for less, which is rare, or they're going to say, you know what, this is going to be sinking to something that we have a plan for, like something in the cinema, which is rare. I mean, Disney did a lot, but it didn't work. I mean, Marvel did a lot, and didn't work. So, yeah, I think, and to me, it's a studio. Because one thing we all have to understand too, guys, and I think we all know this, but I'm going to remind you guys, studio heads are not artists. They're just suits. They're looking at numbers. And if your numbers look good, they're going to say, you're good, man. But then we know, as viewers, we're going to say, yeah, that was just the one, but we really don't like them much, like we're saying for Kevin Hart and other people, right? They're looking at it like, oh, I think it's really good. But the artists themselves, they're like, yeah, man, listen, we can make things much better. If you listen to us, we can make you money. Nolan has proven that. Michael Bay has proven that. You can go on and on. Just listen to what I'm telling you, and we can make this work. But then when those suits get in between, which you hear a lot of, that's why I love the show, The Studio, gives you a great insight, right? You have to see it. I love that show. Because what he's doing is that Seth Rogen is the studio head. He becomes the studio head. But what he's doing is he's giving like a finger and just an insight for you, bro, of like how they do things. Like, and what the artists have to go through, and what the budget looks like, and everyone around them, how they treat and how they act. Like this, real quick, there's a scene where he's in, and this happens a lot, that the director does not want the suits to come in on the set. You got the artists, you got everyone in sync, ready to go. You got time, everybody's rocking and rolling, prepared for months on this. And then here comes the suits, because they love this industry, they love all that stuff, and they figure they got some really good ideas since they were kids. And he plays that guy like, yo, since I was a kid, man, I always want to be on this set. He's driving with his boy, like happy like a kid. They were like, and the director's like, is he coming? Oh my God, I thought he wasn't going to come. I'm sorry, but he wanted to come. He said, I don't want this guy here. And he's showing you what they do. They come in, they start saying things, they cough, things start fucking up, and the director is like trying to kiss the ass a little bit because they need more money. All of these elements, all of these layers on just making a film professionally in Hollywood, what they go through. When you look at the films, there is something that Seth Rogen said, I think a lot of people said, but he says it a lot. He says, I'm surprised any movie gets done. It's just so crazy at times. So I think, Justin, you and I are sitting here looking at these films. We're going to the theaters. We're paying our $100 to get into a theater, and we're hoping that everything works out. But that's the fun of it, right? Going to a cinema as opposed to streaming. You pay your monthly, and you're like, okay, whatever. But when you go to a cinema, that's different. You putting out that cheese, and how much is for a family of 4 or a family of 3? Man, Jesus Christ.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
So, you know what I mean? So,
but I would definitely say that I seen my homegirl Tamika in the chat a little bit earlier. She was like,
"Hey Tamika, what's up, girl?"
She was like, movies for streaming are purposely made to not be that good. Sometimes I believe that shit for real.
Yeah,
like, they just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because they know you're not paying close enough attention to it. Whenever I talk to someone, I've had a couple people that I work with, and I'll say something to them, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'll just wait for it on streaming." Yeah, and for me, again, a personal, I'm a fan of cinema like that. It hurts my heart because I'm like, imagine if like you invited someone over for a cookout. I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to make your family's special recipe to fucking 7-layer dip or some bullshit or some enchiladas or whatever like this. Oh no, my grandma passed it down for generations and generations and brought it over the border and shit. And she almost didn't make it. And I don't know. And there was a bomb that went off and she handed it to my great grandpa's little brother's nephew or someone like this. Like, get this down the line. And here's the recipe right here. And he'd be like, you know what? I kind of ate before I got here. Let me just get that to go. Put it in some Tupperware. You heat that motherfucker up in the microwave. It's all crusty around the edges and shit. And then you hit her up and she's like, "Hey, so."
Yeah. Right.
The microwave?
Right. Yeah.
That person gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
Up to the fucking who knows where in the, for who knows how long and all this sort of stuff. And they got to hike up these hills and do all these things. They got this big ass camera and they're using mirrors and all this crazy ways to film these things so we can experience something authentic in 2026. And you're like, I'll just catch it on streaming. That hurts my heart. Oh my God, it hurts my heart.
It does.
Whatever.
It does. I hate
but still, I still feel like the studios, no matter how much Warner Brothers wants to have HBO or whatever, they're still going to make more money if they put something in theater. I personally would rather have shows. If you're going to give me a show, cool, because you have time to build it out, develop the characters, look at the studio, look at Game of Thrones. I mean, fuck, you know what I'm saying? All the different spinoffs from Game of Thrones. I haven't even watched Game of Thrones, but from what I hear from everyone, all that shit is great.
Oh,
you know
man,
what I'm saying? So there's so many and shows. My wife and I right now are watching Paradise. Yo, have y'all watched Paradise?
I heard it's good. I didn't watch
Sterling K. Brown? Oh my God, this show is fucking amazing. But the point is like, you can do that. And what's interesting is how streaming services will have all these dope ass shows with great character development, great pacing, great stakes, things of that nature, great thought processes into the character studies, if you will, right? Look at the documentaries that are out right now. They're freaking phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
In-depth documentaries. It could just be a documentary about someone stealing someone's mail. That shit's so cinematic. You know what I'm saying? But their movies is trash. Like, what's going on? Like, so I think it's just so interesting where they choose to put their time in.
No, they do. I mean, I think that this is all about the studios too. Because when you see a certain studio logo, right, you got expectations. Because there's people behind it saying, listen, we got standards and we got to sit up to the standards. I see a Warner Brothers. I see New Line. I see certain ones and I get excited. I'm like, okay, those guys are
A24. A24 is the rock star on the block right now. If you see A24, people lose their minds. I know I do.
Hell yeah. And
have you seen the trailer?
What?
Have you seen the trailer for the new To Catch a Predator movie coming up with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, with Robert Pattinson?
I cannot wait for that movie.
I cannot wait. Oh, did you see the trailer? I don't get into trailers, but there's a trailer it was called, did you see Hope? Did you see a trailer called Hope? Bro, no, I don't know why they're not talking about this more. It's I think it's made in, I don't know if it's a Korean movie or a Japanese movie. I think it's more Korean, I think. But the special effects about these creatures that just destroy the planet and they're like in the forest and whatnot, it's like you can see the effects are huge.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what is that? Yeah. So
and it was made on a low budget, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
it's like an indie type movie. Yeah.
It is, but it looks great. the towns. I mean, it just looks really good. So I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but I do want to see it. It's people are taking that same kind of idea from the Godzilla. We had these movies in the past, Justin. We've seen these, we heard these. We was always hoping that it's going to like change the game somehow, or people going to take to it and be like, okay, we're gonna be in good hands, bro. I don't have to worry. My $20 is going to be well spent. And it's I don't know. The studio has come in and start fucking it up. Because you said like A24 is coming in, right? And they're hitting with bangers every time, right? I'm like, okay, cool. But they keeping their budget at a certain like level, and they got some good people behind them now. I mean, they kind of new in the game. So I'm like, all right, now until those people start getting old or someone buy them away and things change, who knows? But yeah, it's just crazy, man. They're just inconsistent sometimes.
Yeah, when you look at a movie like The Creator and what they were able to do with that, look at the movie Hope. Done on a lower budget, like Dope.
Yeah,
can be done for sure. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
this upcoming week, I wanted to mention too to everybody watching. Looks like we're toggling from like 4 to 6 people. Thanks for all of y'all out there watching, helping us grow. Right?
There's some people
appreciate y'all. 4 to 6 people.
Hello, everyone. Yes.
about to break the internet with 4 to 6 people. Let's do it. No, so this upcoming week, I thought that End of Oak Street was coming out this weekend, but End of Oak Street comes out this upcoming weekend. No, it comes out this upcoming weekend. But I thought it came out like the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I had that mixed up because I said on my and I kept trying. You know what? I kept trying to see the Alan Richardson movie. What is it? Motor City. Right?
Motor City.
And Motor City. It looks cool. I like the aesthetic of it. Shailene Woodley, Ben Foster. Yeah. I'm here for Ben Foster, but it was just like showing too far away from me and like hella late at night. So I was like, I couldn't get out to it.
What's crazy? I want to see it, and they took it out the theaters from me.
Week.
They just yanked it.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of promotion. I didn't even see but a trailer on like social media for that movie. And that's another thing too. Like we're talking about like, theater versus this and that. Like, as far as I know, was he Jack Reacher? Yeah, Jack Reacher. Alan Richardson playing Jack Reacher. A lot of people talking about Alan Richardson potentially being Batman. You know what I'm saying? Whether his acting caliber is there or not. I like him, man. I like Alan Richardson is. So for someone like that, plus Shailene Woodley is a phenomenal actress, Ben Foster, but being more shit, you would think they would promote this movie a little bit more. And then from what I've seen on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is like sitting, kind of in a fresh range, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really interesting how they didn't try to push this movie a little bit harder. But it does have a very similar plot and premise to a lot of movies that they've had recently.
I think that movie could be one of those where it would do much better streaming. I think they're going to make their money with that. You can tell. I mean, because the movie looks pretty good. The cinematography, everything looks pretty good. And, Richardson's the man. He proved that. I think for whatever reason, they didn't push it. And I'm afraid why. Now, I'm just a little conspiracy here, guys. I'm just saying, because it was at the same time when he had his little, and I support what he did in real life, when he knocked that cat out in the street because he was messing with, he was close to his kids. Yo, I'm all for it. Who's against that? You know what I mean? You messing with my kids, yo, you're going to get dropped. That's it. And he was nervous about getting 86th in Hollywood and everything else. He was talking about that. And that's when Motor City started coming out and people start pushing that. Oh, the guy came up and he hit a civilian and whatnot. Well, he's not the police. He's not FBI. He's a civilian.
I'm a civilian?
Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about? Acting like he's the FBI. He's a civilian too. He just acts. So I'm afraid that they were like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't push it too much or whatever. Maybe it's that sensitive they get sometime. And I just hope that, you know what? After he did what he did and other things he's done and things he said, I'm definitely a huge supporter of that man. And I just hope he keeps going. And Marvel right now is probably looking at like, let's just see what happens. Because if Marvel don't pick him up, I'm quite sure DC is coming around. So
or more likely, if DC doesn't pick him up, Marvel's going to swoop in one capacity or another. So DC better figure it out.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But see, you know what? And then you look, and then you know what? And talking about what we're talking about, look at Richardson. Look at the movies he's been in. Look at the quality of the production, right? The scope. Look at how it was told, the characters that he selected, and it was good. I mean, you and I did this last review, right? For remember he was a soldier and they had that the alien machine after him.
The War Machine?
War Machine, right?
War Machine?
And that was a good movie. That was a good straight to streaming movie. And I'm like, there you go. You know, and I think, you know, a lot, you know, people have to understand that, yo, if you're in Hollywood and you get to a certain level and you got that pull, now everybody is going to see how good you are when it actually like picking films and going forward. Let me tell you one big actor to me. I'm just saying, guys, it's just a me thing. It's me. But one actor that I love, one of my favorite actors of all time, everyone loves this man. That's the dog, yo. He has one character that's now, of course, in the history books. That's my man. I went blank for a minute. I went all that, went crazy, went blank. Damn. Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Now listen, Hugh Jackman. I was speaking to a couple of people before about this a while ago, and I'm like, you know, we're talking about Hugh Jackman. I said, you know, I'm gonna tell you about the truth about Hugh Jackman, yo. That's my dog. I like him. Wolverine, yes, but realistically, he doesn't pick good films. Like he doesn't know how to pick a script. You can look at Samuel Jackson. 80% of his scripts are bangers. He's been around for 30 years. This cat's been around almost now 30 years because, you know, Wolverine. And you look at his record, it's below 500, yo. You know, really, even like the first Wolverine was cool. Second one was the best one. The third one, of course. But, you know, you look at other things that he has selected and you kind of like, okay, I know it's a personal thing with him, maybe with, you know, Les Miserables. I can't really include that. That's a play and everything else. But the other stuff that he's done, I'm like, even his latest one with the Robin Hood. Bro, you can't get anything better than Robin Hood. You're Hugh freaking Jackman.
I heard that movie was. I wanted to see that, but I heard that movie was good. Like cinematically, it was
like mixed. I want to see it.
But again, I didn't see it though. So
yeah,
I want to
see it. It was like mixed reviews. They said it was like gruesome and everything else in the beginning, and then it kind of lightened up. I don't know. We have to see it and probably, you know, review it because right now it's on, you know, streaming. So, you know, so yeah. So when it comes down to like actors, right? And you say like, hey, listen, they're gonna be in a streaming movie. Yo, that actor's gonna be in a cinematic movie. Now I always look at the actor and I'm like, I don't know. Some people I throw some stuff in the air. I'm like, they're not very good. And Hugh Jackman is one of those guys. Love the guy to death. That's one of my favorite actors. But damn, every time he picks a movie, I'm like, I don't know. Because when Samuel Jackson has a movie coming out, his rep is telling you, oh, I think it's gonna be fun. Even Snakes on the Plane, as silly as that was, it was
that movie. Come on now, that's a fun movie.
It was crazy. You know, but it was like, anyway, we're just saying, listen, we're all talking about streaming and cinema, yes. And all in all, in the big picture, yes, I think streaming is, of course, diluting. Nothing's going to beat cinema. And as Justin mentioned earlier in this stream, we've seen, obviously, Spider-Man Kick-Ass and Odyssey, two totally different subject matters. What do they have in common? Number one, great storyline. Like they know how to tell a story. The stories were told well, and word of mouth. You know, because word of mouth is still critical. They may tell you now, word of mouth is not like it used to be. And all that. No, it still used to be because you have what we're doing now is word of mouth. Hello, what we're doing now is a word of mouth.
If word of mouth was not 99 on social media,
there you go.
That's where people like be sharing stuff, you know, saying copy, paste, share it to all your friends, word of mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And just look over here.
What do you think?
Tamika said Robin Hood was good. So okay, cool, Tamika. Thank you.
What do you think was your best movie you saw in August? Or not August, I'm sorry. Wait. Yeah, we're in August right now. Okay, in July. Best movie you saw in July, worst movie you saw in July.
Oh man, bro. Okay. That's a good question. All right, so we're August, right? Yeah.
streaming or theater. Streaming or theater. Streaming
Oh
or theater. Doesn't
man.
matter.
Okay. So to me, I think that this is how I look at it. For me, this is a me thing. You know what I mean? There's some really good movies that came along so far in the past, say 3-4 months. If you're talking about like last month, I would have to say the one that sticks to me that I want to watch again, and I'll be excited for someone to be with me who hasn't seen it to watch it so we could discuss what is Backrooms. Whatever it was, it pulls me in a lot. There's questions about it. Cinematically looks beautiful. It had this eerie kind of rhythm to it. It was deep in story. To me, it was. Now that was in August, right? Or was that
Oh no, I think maybe Backrooms was in June. That might have been June.
So you're talking about July, and like in July?
Yeah.
Oh man. I would say
good one for sure.
Yeah. So because that one keeps that it just keeps like,
because the bigger movies were like Moana, Evil Dead Burn, obviously Odyssey.
Yeah. And I don't think anything really was good in July. I mean, that was really like, kick your ass shit, like something that's going to kick your ass.
I mean, clearly the two
Odyssey would be, right? Odyssey would be in July, right?
Yeah. Clearly the two heavy hitters that you have to like debate against would be Spider-Man versus Odyssey. Like,
pretty much, right.
Like, as far as the best, right?
The best, yeah. To me, the best one, okay. It's hard, you know what? It's good. It's just controversial, but I think the best movie for me to see again. I'm seeing an Odyssey again, by the way, in Tuesday, y'all, and 70mm, by the way. So I'm just want to put that up. But I have to see it again. But when I left the theater of Spider-Man, I was like, I think this is the best one. Like, this is my best movie. Like, oh my God, this is like the best movie. Odyssey's right underneath it for me, like right there. But this was like, it grabbed me a lot. There was moments because I and it's hard to say, Justin, because it's like, because there's history. I mean, I don't know how fair it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's history with his character and everyone else, him growing up and everything else, him and Mary Jane, like all of that, they laid down beautifully, right? Had me tear once or twice. There was things in there. Odyssey made me tear once. So I was kind of like,
I'm gonna say this.
It's tough, man. What do you think? What do you think is your best one?
I'm gonna say this. Out of those, is obviously gonna be Odyssey or Spider-Man, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Spider-Man, and the reason why is only because yes, there is a history, so there's an up and downs kind of throughout the film, right? But if I'm just looking at, man, I'm probably going to backtrack on what I just said right now. Because if I'm looking at the end, for anybody who has not seen Spider-Man yet, shame on you. But I'm not going to spoil it straight up. I'm just going to say there's interactions between Punisher and Spider-Man in the end of the movie that alone,
yes,
because about the comics, we're talking about the movies, so there's no history there that I've seen, right? So that level of emotion and what that was like for them to have that connection and whatnot, and then also the action, right? So there's my roller coaster of emotions was definitely up and down a whole lot more in Spider-Man. Phenomenal stuff that was jumping off in the Odyssey. Not even going to debate how phenomenal that movie is. But for me, the biggest, again, if you haven't seen Odyssey, what the hell y'all doing with yourselves? But in the end, when Odysseus makes it back home and there's certain things to jump off in this one room with all these people, that was like the big thing, and you need everything else from the beginning building up to that, and it was a huge moment, yes. But with Spider-Man, you gave me this, you gave me that, you gave me this, you gave me that, you gave me so much stuff throughout that particular film, where there's like a little bit of the history that I want to see, what's going to go on, and some of the new stuff that I was like, oh man, it's got to be the best for sure.
Yeah, no, I think too. And you know what, too? We can actually put this. Okay, I'll give you a question here, Justin. All right. So year's almost up. We got 2 big movies coming up. So we know more than likely they're going to be a banger, right? Coming. So we're just going to assume, all right? Who you think is going to be, not who's going to win, but for your personal, like, what's the best movie this year? If you said, listen, if you see any of these big blockbusters this year, these great films, and you say you only got one film to watch, what would that be? And you couldn't watch these films ever again, but you get the one film out of all year. So that's including Mike. That's including all of that. Backrooms, everything, Obsession, all that. Odyssey, and you know Avengers is coming. And I really feel like Avengers is going to kick us in the balls and go like, oh, what the what?
So I'm gonna have to be very strategic with this.
All right. What is it?
First of all, real quick, anybody in the chat right now, you've heard the question posed by my man Barry right here. Out of all the movies that you loved, that was great to you, okay, throughout this entire year thus far, or maybe even what's coming up, and we're just going to anticipate that Dune.
Right.
We're anticipating that Dune and Avengers is going to be phenomenal. Oh, and there's a movie with Brad Pitt coming up. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a dog movie in the world.
Oh, the dog movie, yeah.
So any movie that you think coming up or whatever or past in this year that's going to be dope. If you can only pick one to watch and you'll never be able to see it again, that's what the question is.
Yeah, like one to watch and you can't watch the rest this year. Like you can't watch them again. Odyssey, all that, you can't watch it again. Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna be very strategic here. Fuck. Okay, so if I'm looking at Spider-Man and I'm looking at like Avengers, let's just say Avengers and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Very similar. We're talking about superheroes, powers, action, cool fights, stuff that looks fly.
Same company, think people. Yep.
We have no idea what the MF and storyline is. Well, I don't have any idea what the MF and storyline is for Doomsday. I can assume Doom is the bad guy. And the fucking Avengers are gonna fight this motherfucker. I can assume I'm gonna see different. I've seen it before, so I don't know. You've seen one laser come out of someone's eyes, you've seen it come out of another's. So let's park Avengers like over here, and I got Spider-Man right there. A little bit more going on. I want to see the story fulfilled. Now we look at Odyssey. Dope, great sword and sandal swag, epic cinema storytelling, all of that shit. Dune 3? That's another. It's definitely going to be filmed with the same care and craftsmanship as an Odyssey. That's for damn sure.
It's going to be the same. You pretty much know what it's going to be like to look.
You know what it's going to be, but we're going to get even more action than we had in the previous Dune films with amazing acting as well. So if I'm on that page where I want all that excitement, based on what I believe I might get from Dune 3,
you had to give you have one. And everyone's going to agree pretty much. Like, we can make it harder. I can make it harder, but just one for now. You say, I'm good with it.
It's already hard enough. Yeah. So I might put, I might put Dune over Spider-Man for now in my head.
Okay.
But then, now if I'm going, here's where the strategic part goes. If I'm going for sheer, what the fuck did I just watch? And memorable moments. Maybe I'm going Obsession. Because goddamn, like the shit that jumps off in that movie is crazy. And I wasn't, and as much as people hyped that movie up, when I actually saw that movie, that shit.
Yeah. They bought it.
I'm probably going, oh fuck.
I know
I'm going Dune 3. I'm going Dune 3, and I hadn't even seen it all. So
right, because we know it's pretty much is going to be.
I reserve the right to change my. Come the end of the year, we're gonna have this conversation again. Now, based on what I believe Denis Villeneuve is going to give us, what I know he can make. Chris Nolan's my guy. Denis Villeneuve is my guy.
Yeah,
but I know, Dune is gonna have some great action, phenomenal action.
Yeah.
Craftsmanship, but just maybe more fun and entertainment, just straight up raw fun, entertainment, and action.
Yeah.
And fulfillment of story. I might go with that. Ugh. I don't know.
That's gonna be tough, man. You know what? Okay, mine. I think, and I understand. I think that Dune, because it has a 2 before and everything else.
So
oh yeah,
subjective storytelling
Invite
or subjective storytelling is talking about Invite was good too.
That was
shit
good,
was fire.
I did see that.
Which is clearly Obsession is definitely different from like an Odyssey or a Dune.
Right.
Right. But when you look at the Invite and Obsession, these movies are like, you're thinking about it. You're trying to connect with it on a certain type of level. You know what I'm saying?
I think that if I don't want to go to between like the Invite and Obsession, I'll go to Invite before Obsession, because Obsession, you know where it's going. But I think that Invite can still have you think. But that's another conversation. But for this one, I say I right now I am going to put my foot in the water, and I'm going to go for Avengers. I think Avengers is going to bring the heat, because they already got the template. They already showed you twice shit works. With Endgame, and what was movie for it again? I'm bad with names.
Infinity War.
Infinity War. See, they already gave it right. Yeah. They're going to do the same.
I mean, 4 times.
4 times.
4 times. Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame. Yeah, they work.
Right. And director, the same director. So they already know what's going to work. They're not just going to add to it now. So if I'm looking at that, I'm like, and you got this new criminal, and then you have the whole thing of, Robert Downey Jr. playing, Doom as the whole multiverse. Real quick, side note, I am tired of the multiverse. That's just me. I hope this is the last time they do the multiverse. I'm multiverse out. You know what I mean? But if they do it well, then cool. But damn, let this be the last one. But you know what? I think that I'm going to go for the Avengers, because it's really, really close to Odyssey and the and Spider-Man. Like it's right there, but Spidey's right above it somewhat. You know what I mean? So I think Odyssey could be number 3. We're just assuming, guys. So we're gonna bring this up when it comes down in February, Oscars, because they don't have them all lined up. Oscars right now. I'm just gonna put it out there, Justin. What do you think? I already see what's only going to be in the top movies of the year. I already see Avengers, Spider-Man, Odyssey, Obsession, Hail Mary. That's 6. And now the other 4 could probably be some sleepers in there. They're going to throw like maybe Invite or something like that. Who knows? But
check this out. Check this out. If you throw up in, you said Odyssey.
Oh, Dune.
You said Dune. Dune is going to be nominated. Let's be fucking real.
Right.
Dune, Odyssey, Avengers. Shit. Did you say Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
You could put that in there.
A billion will get you in the list.
Obsession could.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If you put Avengers, Dune, Odyssey, and Spider-Man somehow.
Right. Mike is in there. Forgot about that.
I don't know if I don't see Michael getting nominated. I don't think it was a strong enough film. It was a good
film
movie,
of the year?
great movie. I don't think.
No?
Nah. Because because I mean the narrative for me in the chat, let me know what y'all think. But for me, the narrative of that movie wasn't enough. Hey, here's his music, and he went from point A to point B, just like with Bohemian Rhapsody. I did not care for Bohemian Rhapsody. There was a lot of ish that was made up in Bohemian Rhapsody, and the Michael Estate cherry picked certain things to be in that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Check this out. In the Michael movie, the most controversial thing over the hell, he didn't get no.
But say it again. You dropped
manual with this monkey. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? The most controversial aspect of Michael was the fact that he got that monkey, that he got Bubbles or whatever his name was.
I know.
He didn't get no manual. He didn't take no course, no training course. This monkey could have been let free and been tearing people's faces off. Okay?
That's what
get the fuck out of here,
man. You don't need to.
That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see that movie done where Michael goes crazy. That's what happened. in the Oscars, if Avengers gets in there somehow, Spider-Man gets in there somehow,
Yeah.
Dune and Odyssey, this will be this. I mark my words. Numbers are going to start to go up, and we know Oscars want numbers to go up. So movies, they remember a few years back when they tried to make most popular movie category or something. They were toying with that idea of like what's the most popular movie, and that was obviously a movie that they don't deem
Right.
because this movie made hella money, right? Well, Spider-Man making a billy, Odyssey made a billy. I don't know if Dune can make a billy. I feel like it could and it should, but who knows? Avengers is easily going to make 2 to 3 billion. Okay, easily. So you can have $4 billion movies.
But remember, Mike is $1 billion too. So
Mike is $1 billion, but again, Academy people got to vote. They got to vote on that. And like while Jafar Jackson did a phenomenal job playing Michael,
I mean, we have people dancing in theaters all over the place. I mean, he's going to get. Not saying he's going to win, but I can't see him not being in the nomination.
Well, if we only listed 6, I don't know what else is coming out this year that could fill in those other 4 spots. Throw Michael in there, and Coleman Domingo for best supporting. Throw him in there.
Well, yeah. I think what's going to happen. Okay, so all right, so guys. Okay, so you guys recorded, right? So Justin and I say this. Justin doesn't think Michael's going to get in. That's fine. So I say it is, right? But either way, there's still 7. I guess we're saying. we said it's 7, right? Something like that, 7, right? So we don't know what the other 3 is. So okay, so I'm saying that. Okay, so we all agree that we know that more. Now I won't be surprised if Avengers doesn't make it in. I'd really be surprised, and I won't be surprised because they already said we already got 1 Marvel, 2 of them. Come on. So it really depends. If it blows up, then we could be like, that's gonna be hard to, man. A Billy. Yo, it's like,
you know what though? I can see Spider-Man for sure getting in there because 1, see, again, I do this to myself all the time. My brain's all over the place. So I can see Spider-Man getting in there. 1 because it's a very popular movie, made $1 billion, hella fast,
right?
Early, but Tom Holland and Zendaya.
The drama. Oh, that's right.
Think about. Oh, the drama was great too. But
I love that freaking movie.
Think of in our time as movie fans. Think of the couples that we all love for the moment that they're like doing well, right?
Yeah.
We once had Bennifer. Okay, we had wait, Bennifer is Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner. Is that Jennifer Gardner? Right?
No, that's J-Lo. Ben Affleck and
J-Lo was Ben.
Benefit.
But we had them, right? We've had them. So we've had couples in our time. Right now, Tom Holland and Zendaya, beloved. Who doesn't love Tom Holland and who doesn't love Zendaya? And then they actually have like romance throughout their films.
Right.
If they win, if they get Best Picture. Who don't want that?
But think about this.
Hollywood's going to vote for that.
They're kicking ass right now. No, I don't think anyone has ever done what they're doing right now. Think about they coming in billions, $1 billion films. They're on top of their game, and everyone loves them. And this is their year, if anything. You're right, bro. I mean, I don't think anyone has been in so many hit movies as a couple, and then one of them when they're together. So you have Spider-Man when they're together. You have Odyssey when they're together. They're not together in the same scenes, but they're in the same movie. Then they got Zendaya has a drama, but that's like a low key, but that still was good. But then she comes out with, and then she got Dune coming out.
Dune.
I mean, and Tom over here with Odyssey, Spider-Man, and I think he has a third one.
And season 3 come out, which I thought was phenomenal.
Oh, Euphoria. Yeah, Euphoria, right?
Euphoria, yeah, and her acting was phenomenal. So that's a power couple right there, boy. Let me tell you.
Real, bro.
It's a power couple.
Power boy. And I heard too, well, this is another story. I don't want to get into a whole nother thing, but I'm just saying they said that Tom was like, when he has kids, heard him say that he's going to stop. And I'm like, uh-oh. Now, when I heard that, the first thing I thought about was his publicist busting through the door and saying, we got to talk. No kids for at least 3 years.
He's like, I just put a bid down on this house. You better keep your ass going.
Right. It's like, no kids, or chill, right? And Zendaya, like, does Zendaya know about this? And Zendaya's like, yo, I know, Zendaya looks like the woman that says when she has a kid, she's going to stop for a minute. Like, I don't think you're going to see her for a minute. So I know,
you know what though?
Like, yo, come on.
You know what though? Here's what I think about Tom Holland and Zendaya. Right now, they're picking great roles. Number one. Well, I'd say Tom Holland is dope. I love Tom Holland, and I wish nothing but the best for any actor in Hollywood because I want movies to be good, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the movies. I haven't seen the movies outside of. I liked Uncharted, but I don't know the game like that. So how people feel about the game versus the movie, I have no idea. But I thought that movie was fun and adventurous. And
okay, I didn't see it. I have to check it out.
Kind of a combination of like Indiana Jones meets National Treasure. I like that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. But as far as the other Tom Holland films that haven't done very well, I can't say that he's picking the best projects because they didn't do very well.
Right.
Whereas with Zendaya, I feel like a lot of the movies that she's picking, things that she's picking, very good, edgy, thought-provoking. She's really in it. I feel like right now they have the opportunity to look and see what other people have done, and their movies are hitting. Like I said, everything that they've been doing this year, dope, hitting. Once they have some children, take a step back. Live your lives, be family people. You got all the money in the world.
Right.
As parents, you have some new perspective with some years of marriage underneath you. So now you can bring that into the fold when it comes to a drama that you want to be in, another action movie you want to be in, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be, you will be welcomed back with open arms. The good thing about Tom Holland and Zendaya right now is they are not suffering from Chris Pratt fatigue, right? Chris Pratt, remember when this motherfucker was in everything? This motherfucker's Mario. Isn't Mario Italian? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not mad at it. Mario's making millions of dollars, billions of dollars. It's all good.
Chris Pratt doesn't have
but people like Chris Pratt, goddamn. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think he doesn't. Chris Pratt doesn't have that. Whatever they say. It doesn't have that thing that everybody wants to be. Let's. You know what? Real quick, Justin, before you go into it, I think you mentioned this way in the back in other reviews, and I agree wholeheartedly that listen, you're going to have everyone like you. We're talking about coaches too. Everyone loves Tom. Chris Pratt was a little suspect in a lot of places. I'm just going to be honest. Brothers are not pulling up for Chris Pratt. Brothers are pulling up for Tom. And as long as brothers pull up for you, you're going to make it. So, but brothers is not pulling up for Chris, and Chris has had a limited time. The movies are coming out, so it's too late. He's going to be in these movies, but they knew, and you know what? That's just facts. It's just facts. So, So, like you said, Tom and Zendaya making good choices. When they have kids, just chill out. They good because you know what? When they come back, everybody's going to be like, "Yo, welcome back. We've been waiting for you." You know what I mean? As long as they leave on a good step.
Yeah. Now, just because you mentioned Chris Pratt, well, I mentioned Chris Pratt. We all mentioned Chris Pratt, whatever. But just because you mentioned it and him doing too much of this shit right here in the fucking Jurassic Park movies, I'm so excited for. I don't know all about End of Oak Street, but I know there's dinosaurs in it.
Yeah.
Okay. I know there's dinosaurs in it. Yes. Dinosaurs throughout the entire film, and is that all that they're running from? I have no idea. Maybe it's going to be other monsters or whatever. But I'm praying. I'm hoping that End of Oak Street bangs out these dinosaurs better than the last handful of Jurassic Park movies, because I'm sorry, Jurassic Park needs to die. Look, it needs to end. This is a franchise, along with like Fast and the Furious. I'm gonna watch the next Fast and the Furious movie just because I want to see how they wrap this bullshit up. But but Jurassic Park needs to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the last, you had a clone woman. I thought we were watching dinosaurs. You had locusts. I thought this was about dinosaurs. What the fuck are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? With End of Oak Street, I don't think it's End of Oak Street's rated R. But if I get some dinosaurs eating motherfuckers and running through houses in the neighborhood, I would be so happy. Give me more excitement, End of Oak Street. You better come through.
That'd be fun. But you know what? I think
I'm gonna be reviewing that shit this week, y'all.
I'll be there with you, bro. Because you know what? I think that if they do better, and I think they probably will, if Jurassic Park people went with the book, the way the book says it, because I read the book years ago when it first came out, when I'm in my 20s, and many moons ago. And I remember there was a lot of layers in there that never put into any of these movies. I'm like, listen, there are 3 or 4 islands. You go to these islands, but you're not making anything like connecting to the first island. Like the books are phenomenal, bro. Like I read that book, I think 2.5 times.
So was there a clone girl in the book?
Huh?
Was there a clone person in the book?
No, ain't no clones. Like everything you see and it's just fabricated. It's like what? It's like whatever. But no.
Was there prehistoric locust? Was there prehistoric locusts in the book?
Nah, man, ain't no locusts. This is not King Kong's death, whatever, Skull Island. They try to make a Skull Island out this bitch, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what you doing is if they were, they would eat them. So what are you doing? And I think that's what killed it. And you're right, I'm with you. But dinosaurs still sell. As you see what they're doing, they're like, you know what? Because the suits say, hey, numbers say dinosaurs still sell. So let's throw some dinosaurs in the neighborhood. That work. And I, you know what? I think it is, because you know what? I'm excited to see that movie. I really want to see like what's all about. You know what I mean? I really want to see that. And I think that's what we're missing too in cinema. And I think it's coming back, bro. I think it's coming back little by little. The mystery. Because we didn't have mystery in a long, long time. We kind of knew where the storylines were going for many films in the past several years, right? We kind of knew, but we went there anyway to see how it wraps up. But now we're getting movies finally, again, because we used to have these back in the early 90s, where there was a mystery to it. Like, how does that, I always want to see how this thing works out. And I like that. You know what I mean? So
check this out. Check this out. I'm going to do something dope right now. This right here is called Full Circle.
Uh-oh.
How Barry just said that something that we've been missing is mystery. So we have obsession, not so much of a mystery. We kind of know where it's going, but we don't know how it will end necessarily.
Right.
It could have gone anyway. Backrooms, bit of a mystery.
Big time.
Weapons, it came out last year. Nice little mystery, right? And a bunch of other movies that I'm forgetting off the top of my head.
Invite, I'll pop an invite in there.
And the invite, a little bit of that mystery, right? How's it going to end? Where are we going with this? Right? Now here's where we come full circle. This whole thing we started about was streaming movies versus theatrical movies. Streaming movies don't necessarily give you as much mystery, and the mystery that they might give you is still not very much of a mystery. It's a lot of little things here and there that kind of keep you enticed every time you look up from your. If cinema can continue on with the trajectory that we've been seeing over the past year or so, coming back, you know what I'm saying? We got some great mysteries and things like this. This year, definitely some thought-provoking mysteries, shocking things coming from YouTubers, all that sort of stuff, original stuff. If we can keep going in this trajectory, I think we're going to be all right, y'all. I think we're going to be all right. Let's go.
You're right. I think we're gonna be all right. I love that full circle, bro. I love that full circle. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But all in all, like we were saying, man, I think that you know what, all in all, out of everything that Justin and I've been talking about all this time, nothing beats cinema. Period. They've proven that. Cinema it's a different beast. It's just a different care behind it. It's a different prep behind it. And that as an artist, you have to make it look a certain way, feel a certain way, sound a certain way, because people are not putting out all that money for anything to sound like something they see on TV or on their iPad. They have to say, why am I seeing this in this room with all these people? And it's not really for us, and it's not really for me and Jason, that they're really going after. They're going after the kids. They're going after Justin's kids. Like, why would they want to go to a box where they can just look in something in their hand? Like they going for that. So it's like, now you have to say, hey, listen, we have to hold on to cinema as much as we possibly can. Educate the new generation. Like, listen, guys, this is why you have to keep this alive, because there's nothing like it. This is the science behind it, and this is why you have Hollywood, why you have movies, and why you even have entertainment when it comes down to storytelling. Visual storytelling is because of cinema. And that excitement that we were just talking about all this time, about the mystery of not knowing what's going to, what the story is about, this excitement to see something shown in a certain format you can never replicate at home. Like, these are not just gimmicks, but you can say a little gimmicky, but they are true science and medium that we appreciated for so long, for so many years, guys, and we do not want to lose this. So when it comes down to streaming and cinema, as much as Justin and I broke everything down to the very last compound, and if you're old enough, you know where that line came from. Nothing's going to beat cinema, you know. So it's you know what, and everything has its place, because now we can go into the whole world of verticals. I don't want to get into that thing. Good Lord, I'm like, you talk about killing motherfuckers. Oh my, verticals.
That's a topic for another day. You know how many times I tell people, I'm just like, they're trying to record you like this, like, just turn your phone to the side.
Right. Like it's like what's now with
they won't do it.
Right. And now with the iPhone, you can just press the button, it does it for you. You don't have to turn the phone no more. Like, I mean, how much more help do you need? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but this was a good conversation, Justin. Justin put this together. So this is a good conversation, bro. Yeah.
We'll definitely have more conversations getting into the weeds about random thoughts, because every now and then I'll be thinking, I just wanted to chop it up with y'all, you know, see what y'all say, see what y'all thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cinema versus streaming, this and that. You know what I'm saying?
You guys are on right now. Do you like us? Do you like us having this live session more than anything else? If you enjoy Justin and I just chopping it up every now and again, let us know. You know, we'll let you know.
And remember, next week, Barry, if you're down, and I can get you, next week we're gonna do maybe a spoiler review on End of Oak Street.
Oh, okay. I'm down. I'm in. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's chop it up.
Let's do it. So listen, guys. It's your homework.
Yeah. So your homework is watch End of Oak Street.
Yes.
Okay. Watch End of Oak Street this week before Sunday. So that way we come in. Maybe we'll do a spoiler review. Maybe we'll everything. But if y'all see it, and we only got 6 people in here, so I don't think it's hard to say, hey, did everybody watch it? And see everybody say, yes, we did, and then we didn't. You know what I'm saying? It won't be that challenging, right?
Right.
But yeah, next week we're gonna talk End of Oak Street, and we'll talk about some other shit too.
We're definitely going to chop it up again. So thank you everybody for sharing, to hanging out with us. Those that have Tamika and Subject Style LLC.
Subject Style, yeah.
Subject Style. Yeah, and your boy L, what was his name? Let me go back in time.
Juan.
I want to say hello to everyone that came by. My wife came by, but then your boy L John Brown. Yeah. So everyone that came by, and put the word out. We're gonna do this again. We're going to be chopping it up. We'd love to just talk to people about the movies that we're talking about, as well as spoiling. So thanks Justin for this. Yeah, no doubt. So Justin, you want to close it out, bro? Whatever.
Oh yeah. That's all we got for y'all right now, baby. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate y'all. Remember, next Sunday, we're going to be here chopping it up again. Bring your friends, grab a drink, get some food. It's going to be a time.
That's it. Feel me? And the Oak Street coming.
We out.
Peace.
And the Oak Street. Deuce.
Dude.